I've gathered you scum-sucking degenerates together today because I've decided it's time to make a boxing-themed workout, because market research tells me that aside from the ambiguous motions of the shake weight, the biggest fitness thrill in life is to pretend like you're punching somebody in the face.
Okay.
Plus, it's never been done before.
Well, what about Core de Force?
Too many trainers.
Les Mills Combat?
Corny music.
UFC Fit?
Too derivative.
Tap Out XT?
A one-off.
Tap Out XT2?
Don't be cute.
Rush Fit?
Too French.
Kenpo X?
Too Tony.
Taibo?
I'll ignore you said that.
Well then, sir, seeing as we're going ahead, who are we going to sign up as the trainer?
I was thinking of Leandro Carvalho.
Oh, excuse me, sir, I don't think that's a good fit.
You didn't let me finish. I was thinking Leandro could be the punching bag.
I see.
You know, like to have the cast punch him in the face until enough calories are burned off. Like one of those Flintstone punching bags I had as a kid.
That sounds like it might have a hard time getting past the health and safety department.
Well, Leandro will be disappointed. He was looking forward to a paycheck. But you'll be happy that I've chosen Joel Freeman as the trainer.
An excellent choice, sir.
I didn't ask for your endorsement, worm.
Yes, sir.
Now, make it happen.
In 2020, Beachbody released 10 Rounds, a boxing-themed workout series.
Boxing.
Long story short, I was in martial arts a lot as a young guy, and that can kind of affect one's view on happy people throwing happy punches in a happy gym. Maybe I miss Sensei making me do 50 push-ups because one of my knuckles was off by a hair. Or Sensei sucker punching me in the gut to see if I was tensing enough. Or waking up on a dojo floor after being unconscious from Sensei kicking me so hard I hit the wall like a sack of wet oatmeal. You know, I wonder if maybe Sensei didn't like me that much. But the point is, once you've had Chateaubriand for two with a bottle of 95 Geringer Brothers Cabernet Merlot, dang, that was a fine year, it's hard to accept ballpark dogs as actually being legitimate meat. But there's a reason everyone likes a good hot dog. So for those who don't particularly care for a half-cocked sensei physically abusing them and leaving mental scars that just won't heal, fitness with a martial arts or boxing flavor is there to fill the void.
Just be thankful you're not a sumo wrestler. Those guys have to wipe their sensei's asses.
It wasn't that long before that Core de Force was released with Joel and Jericho, so in a way, it was strange the Beachbody returned to the combat-themed drawing board so quickly. And while there's only so many ways you can throw an ineffectual haymaker, let's get this review underway. I want to first draw attention to 10 Rounds being refreshingly minimalist. True, you'll find a resistance loop convenient to use, but aside from weights, you really don't need anything else. No pull-up bars, steppers, or those ridiculous sliding frisbees. Just bring your attitude and an insatiable desire to punch your fellow man. It's great to see LA before it lit itself on fire, as during this taping it appears the California birds were still singing in the needle-infested parks. Early 2020, you were a simpler time. The recordings this week are inside Beachbody headquarters, but outside awaits the bus. Yes, Beachbody will be touring 10 rounds through 5 additional cities across America. Or at least the bus will. I have a hunch Joel and the crew opted to pay for their own discount airfare rather than slum it cross-country in a repainted Greyhound. If you are experienced with boxing or similar themed workouts, this week may be one to skip over. I get it, the constant exposition is necessary for beginners, but after a while it was really getting to me. That's just my general complaint with boxing cardio. The resistance training is another story entirely. It's basic and beautifully old school, so it was here that I felt real gains had the potential to be made. Las Vegas is appropriate given her history with the boxing community. No longer is that city just about gambling and not being able to throw a rock without hitting a hooker. Now you can add fitness to gambling and hookers. For atmosphere, Joel and the crew are doing the workout on what appears to be the roof of a hotel. As expected, the complexity begins to increase, a little more shuffling and perhaps an additional jab here and there. But what is really grabbing me are the leg and upper body workouts. They provide a nice break from the boxing and remind us that this is a serious workout. Filmed at Stockyard Station in Dallas-Fort Worth, the location adds a nice touch. Probably filmed early morning or after hours to avoid dozens of tourists making rude gestures at the camera. I'm glad there are no plyometrics for the sake of the cast who are working out on brick pavement. Week 3 is where more emphasis is placed on footwork and resistance workouts. If you're an uncoordinated lummox with 2 left feet, this might beat some needed skill into you. Filmed on a condo rooftop, which was a good call. Trying to film this on a Florida beach would have been a logistical nightmare. The leg band makes a greater appearance this week. They were always around before, but now it's being used more frequently. While I often am hesitant to recommend gimmicky add-ons, they do add a muscle training aspect that would be otherwise missed. You don't really need them, but don't discount their benefits entirely either. Filmed at what I think is a boxing training center in Brooklyn. It's a little cramped for space, but it does get the job done. And so what's new this week? Combinations, and lots of them. It had to be Philadelphia, because of that really popular movie. What was it again? Oh yeah, right, Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother...
This week is where it all comes together, as all elements you have learned are put into your last week. The format remains the same: punches, footwork for 3 days, and strength training for 2. If you made it this far, I'm guessing you've developed some impressive reflexes. Your last day is Final Fight, a 40-minute blast filmed on location at the top of the Philadelphia Museum of Art. Before I give a final word, you need to know that I'm a hard sell with this kind of workout. When I knew I was going to do 10 rounds for review, I can't say I was really bursting with too much excitement. After having gone through it, I'm of 2 minds about how I feel about it. One side is impressed with the great resistance training, especially how it pays attention to legs. Too many workouts look at legs and hit them hard with cardio and plyo. 10 rounds goes that extra mile. The other half of me just tolerates the boxing. But if you like fighting style workouts, you're probably going to love this one. You'll also love Core de Force, Tap Out XT, or if you're a glutton for punishment, exhume Tai Bo from its lonely grave. There's just not a lot of ways you can mix up punch-kick combos and make it exciting or even all that different. But Joel does manage to give it a fun essence with his easygoing training style, so at the very least you'll gain enough combat skills to kill a room full of millennials. But make no mistake, you will not actually learn to fight. As a trainer, Joel Freeman is clearly now part of Beachbody's core team. I do want to see more of him, but I'd like it to be in the resistance training capacity minus all the gimmickry. This is not a gripe against Mr. Freeman, rather towards his omniscient overlords. Personally, I'm more attracted to workouts that don't have a lot of gimmickry. If they make a cardio workout, then go balls in like Max 30. Or pure unadulterated resistance like Body Beast. Maybe it's because I'm 50 and just wish people would get to the point instead of trying to dazzle me with flash. Still, there's no denying that 10 rounds is a solid cardio resistance workout series, and Joel pulls it off like a master. For that, I give it high marks and feel it's definitely worth checking out.
Nice shirt.
Thanks.
I'm joking, it sucks.